again, welcome class. This is, the link is itong MongoDB Cloud /cloud /atlas. I'll put it on yung notes natin. Site MongoDB site is this one. MongoDB site. Medyo fuzzy po mic nyo. I think. Mukhang fuzzy. Oo. Okay na ba? Rinig na ba ako? Clear na ba? So as you can see, nagawa na ako ng cluster dito. You can just have yung tutorial ng ano. Actually, we can terminate. Terminate ko lang muna to para makita niyo kung paano ko gagawa ng isang cluster for your use. So what we can do is just click on the create new cluster and shared. Shared siya. Okay na yung mic ko, no? Yes daw. Okay, sige. So, shared. Then, just click on yung nakikita nyo, make it na parang, you have it on Iowa na free tier. So, hintayin natin mawala muna yung cluster ko kanina kasi ayan. So, may kita nyo, build a database. So, we're going for the shared one. Then, that's it. Put it on US East 1, or we can also put it on Google. And then, well, US, kasi our GitPod servers are on US. So, okay lang. Cluster tier is same. Wala tayong we'll just rename it as, let's say, TJ cluster. So at least for me. Tapos, well, for this one, we want to click on motorcycles pala. So ayan. So we'll wait for it. Then while being provisioned, I'm going back to my backend to start the hindi too big. Okay. So recorded po ito. Yes, it is recorded and it will be posted in YouTube. So let's do yung install ulit because every time I have to create a workspace, it's always a new Gitpod instance. So I'll need to install yung node modules. There's a severity, vulnerability daw because it matagal-tagal na. So we'll just have to do ito. Or we can always have npm audit fix. That would take care of any possible vulnerabilities on our end. And we can just add all git commit for add update dependencies git push. Okay, I could also start yung ang ulit yan control F11. Okay. So control F11. So we can also do this. Ay, nag-music. Yan. May music pala ako nun. Dun sa alt text ko nga pala. Yan. So, okay. Ito na yung meron tayo. If we do npm start, make public, and then we click on the Explorer, open public. Yan siya. And then, ayan. So now we want to again attach a database and build a simple CRUD. So now that we have it set up, what we can do is click on connect. Allow muna na i-access siya everywhere or yeah. So add IP address. Yan, para lang ma-access siya everywhere. And then we have yung yung ating database user. So as of the moment, papakita ko kung ano yung wait. The username and password. So user, then auto generate password, create database user. Close. Go back. Ulit tayo. Connect. Teka lang. Okay, choose connection method. Nalimutan ko yatang kunin yung yung password. I forgot. Wait lang. I should ayan. Delete natin. Delete. Okay. So we can delete that user. Add a new user ulit. So db user, auto generate password, click to copy, and read write to any database. So that once we have that db user, gagawin natin is I would put it on config muna, config folder. But this config folder is ignored. So, para hindi siya maisama sa ating file. So, let's have it dev.json dito. We'll create a dev.json file. Now, this one will not be part of the this one will not be part of. So yan. Kita niyo yung password ko, which I will change after the recording of video. But that is how we will set it up. So now that we have that password, so ayan siya. All resources. Let's see, all resources nga ba. We can also restrict access to specific ito lang, update user to cluster 0 data lakes para dun lang siya magko-connect. Now, what we will need to do is to create a utils folder here. And then we create a folder MongoDB here. Thank you. Check natin ulit. Yep, recording pa rin. So, we'll get yung Mongoose, Node.js. We'll use Mongoose for this one as a library. Then so that means we'll need to save this. Allow. Okay. So once that is done, we'll add a file dito ng index.js. How will we able to connect? So quick start, ganun daw yung quick start. We'll need to connect yung ating Mongoose. So can have this. So when using MongoDB, you can have it like this one. Kasi ito yung pagka localhost. So what we will be doing is so ganyan siya with the password. And yung my first database. But we will change it, yung database natin. So, yun, browse collections. Collections tayo. Browse collection. So we still don't have a database here. We'll create our own database. So ComSci 100 DB. Let's have a collection, let's say blog. So now that we have that, yan yung we have a database called ComSci 100DB. We'll just add it dun sa ating, we'll have a config here, config file, just for the sake of, um, having a file where we can change the configuration. So database is equals to comsci 100 db. Tama, no? Yeah, the big letter D, small letter B. Okay. So now that we have MongoDB, we'll have to quick start, save. Hindi pala save. Ito. But we are using so, okay. We have Mongoose. Now, what we're going to do is create a DB connection. Then let's go for connections here. Sabi dito, because this is a promise, if you have looked into my video on how a promise look like, so this is a promise kasi may catch. We're also going to do this. So main. So mongoose.connect. Yeah. Export mongoose. So we will just be exporting the same file. We're also going to do a export const connect. We are creating a asynchronous function where we will connect mongoose. So await mongoose connect, and this yung pang-connect natin, which is itong nasa baba, yung ganyan. So, to be able to do that, going back to our database, yan, we're going for connect your application, we copy this one, ayan, but this is for MongoDB, so we'll not be using that. We're just going to copy itong so this is the username, and this is the password. We can also put yung what do I call this? Host. So we can put it here yung host. Yan. And we do itong database. For now, yan. Paano natin kukunin siya? We also get yung import sa fs read file sync from fs, which is our reader for files. Read file sync of the file config dev.json, and of course utf-8. We get the password, user pass. Then we get yung MongoDB, which we get yung username and password from MongoDB of the JSON parse user pass. Kasi this is JSON, correct? So, JSON siya. We get yung MongoDB and we just get yung username and password. So, username and password. So, parang ang itsura kasi nito, yung nasa, itong one-liner na to, ang itsura talaga niyan is, it's equals to const object is equals to JSON parse user pass. Then, const MongoDB is equals to object.mongodb. Then const username is equals to MongoDB username, and const password is equals to MongoDB password. So parang ginawa ko lang siya into one line. So, that is how we can make sure na mas less yung lines. Can also get the config equals to read file sync src config.json, and we also set the encoding to utf-8 para ma-read siya as a string. Then from that config, we can again MongoDB host at saka database is equals to JSON parse config. Then we can just return mongoose then. Yan. Just for Now, what we'll need to do is just put it on app.js, meaning once we also set it up yung ating password. So, what we do is await connect. So, I click enter and automatically kinuha niya yung import connect from MongoDB.js. So, let's start again on this one. So, dapat makakonect na sa MongoDB. Let's see kung mag MongoDB connected. So, yun. So, nakaka-connect tayo kasi nakakapasok tayo sa database. If we change the password, ayan, hindi tayo makaka-connect kasi there is a problem with the connection. So, kapag binalik ulit to, ibig sabihin, nag-work na, we are connected to our database. So, right at this moment, git at all git commit meron ba tayong pull request. May pull request tayo. Hindi. Hindi pala. Okay. Git commit fit add database. And then push. So now that we have connected the database, we'll create our first specification. So dito, specification. Now, what I want to do is to put this on yung parang different configuration. Kasi ang pangit naman, it's not looking good if we are just putting it on one file. So, we'll create muna yung paths. As a index. We're just going to export const paths as an object, and what we will be doing is to just copy this. Yan, and then we just import again paths. Yan. From paths index.js. Yan. Okay. And then, we just remove everything dito. So now that we have that as a path, dapat pag tinignan natin sa Swagger, it would still be the same na meron tayong base path. Na if we try it out, execute hello world from home. What we will be going to do is to at least make it na clear din. So like let's say this is yung root. We refactor this as well para wala sila sa isang lugar. Then we just copy ito, export const root. Ganyan. Yan. And then we just say root. So index.js. Single quote kasi. Okay. Yan. Okay. Everything is clear as of the moment. Wala namang nawawala. You may ask questions here. I mean on the live chat of this video, and I'll try to answer your question. If not, I'll go directly. So once that is done, we'll create another path or blog, and we'll just have index.js. Wait lang guys. We'll just copy this. And we'll create a post for that. Create a blog post, and then so this is create blog, and then responses is creates a blog post and return the blog data. Now we can design the blog post here. What is the response? We will need to also put a request body. So let's go open API or open API. Open API object for paths object path we want to see yung sa post, an example of a post with a request body. So this is the request body. So what it needs is request body, and then the content, and then we will be using application Json. So that will be the content type, and then the schema, which is of type object, and then it's the same as this one. So properties is of what we'll need is the title, type string, and body, which is type also string. Now, of course, the return is the blog data, so we can have the same thing here. Can have, let's say, this one, as well as the blog, the ID, which is type string. So now that we have that, this should be on blog. Then we'll need to just create another tag here for blog URL paths, and then in the specific paths/index, we'll import our blog from did we change? Yeah, blog dapat siya, from /blog/index.js, and then we just put blog. And let's see, this is post, we have a response. So if we go dito, we'll have a base path and we have a blog path na ganyan yung kalalabasan. If you try it out, execute, of course magkakaroon ka pa ng status code error because create blog is not yet created. So we'll need to create a blog service. So what we'll need to do is create blog.js, and we just copy this one as of the moment. Yan. And instead of home, create blog. And then, gagawin lang natin is import create blog from blog create blog.js. Then, of course, ganyan siya. Ba't ako magkakaroon ng semi-standard error dito? Okay. Yan. So, ang gagawin natin is, for the sake of ano lang, makuha natin yung body request. From request, we get yung title and the body, so, which is the text. Sabihin na nating text na lang pala, no? Para hindi tayo dalawang body. We'll make it na text. Yan. Is equals from body. So what we will be doing is, let's say ID muna is some ID, title, and then text. Yan yung ginagawa. So if we refresh, yeah, we'll just wait na ma-expose. Okay, that it has been exposed. If we try it out, we execute, we are getting na ngayon yung some ID and the title and text, which is kung ano man yung in-input natin. So like I have a title, we execute, yun din yung lumalabas. So working na yung ating simple create blog service, but it's not really yet saving it to sa database. So we will need to import our mongoose from our utils mongodb index.js. What we will need to understand now is how to create a schema muna. So for the schema, we'll create a model. So let's have a model here. So let's go back dito. Let's create a model folder, models folder. And then let's say blog.js. Cons ulit pa. Then lang start. Yeah. We need to get yung MongoDB or yung Mongoose after being connected. So let's have a cons models here, and we export it as well. Tapos what we'll need to do is create blog model, or yeah, create blog model, which is we need yung mongoose to be passed as a part of the function. We export this. So there you go. New mongoose schema is equals to cons blog model and blog schema. Then once that we are done, we just do this, and then instead of kitten, we use blog font, blog schema, title. So we are saying kung ano ba yung schema niya, title, text, which is a string, and then for model, Models, schemas, sorry. Schemas pala tayo. We have title, author body, meta, IDs, so we don't need, by default, Mongoose adds an underscore ID property to your schema. So automatic na yun. That will be, our unique ID for this one. So ito lang yung kakailanganin natin. And then, return log. So once that is done, we will set that models.plug is equals to create plug model with Mongoose as something that we are passing. Blog.js. Now that we are done with that, quick start lang tayo babalik. So we'll need to have a new object. So it's a bit of like an object-oriented model. So model, I think fonts blog is equals to models. New blog, title and text, fonts blog, and then just blog ID, and then await blog.save. So let's see kung gagana to. Try it out, execute, and meron na tayong automatic ID. If we look at our collections, but kittens? Ba't kittens yung ano? Meron akong mali. Kasi kitten. Blog. Yan. Yan kasi mali eh. Mali. Pero mapapansin natin, ano ba yung laman ng kitten? Let's see. What is ayan, meron na tayong blogs na. Meron na tayong blogs. So, we can delete this automatically kasi can drop it as well as yung kitten. Kasi hindi natin na siya kailangan. If we execute this again, we'll see that we have yung string natin. That we have an object ID as this one. And if we also look, that's the object ID. So if I create like, I have a new blog, execute, and then find tayo ng isa. Dalawa na siya. Ayun yun. I have a new blog. So that is how easy, as of the moment, how we create a blog. Now, what we want to do now is to add a particular path na ano naman. We want to get all the blogs that has been created. So, ngayon, ang pwede natin gawin dito is to further refactor this. Create or post index.js. Then we just copy the whole thing. Export const post. Then we just do itong pag-import sa kanya. Post from post index.js. And we just do this. Then we also create yung get naman. Get.js. Get the folder. Then we also have yung index.js. Now, we just copy this. But instead of using post, we use get. Get all blog posts. Get many blog. Yung ating ilalagay. Tapos wala tayong request body because as I've said in the lecture, there's no request body for the method get. And then instead of this, the schema is an array where the items are a type of object. Then, tsaka itong properties na to. So, we are expecting an array return. Now, that is get many blog yung ina-expect niya. So, we just import get from get index.js. And that is that. If we refresh this, oops, the page. Okay. Yan. You can see, meron na tayong post at saka get. And we'll just create yung ating get many blog.js. It's the same. We'll just follow this. We don't need the request nor the reply for this one. We'll not need muna anything. And this is get many blog. We'll do this. Yan. And then, after that, so for getting, so some models for querying. So, queries, yan. Queries tayo. Find. So, model find. Patay. Ayun. Find. So, let's have it ng ganito. Ano ang i-return niya? returns query. Exec query. Executing. Exec. Huh? Fonts log. So, i-return ko muna ng wala. Let's just get it dito. Console.log log. Now, let's go dito. Ano nga ba yung susunod natin? May error ako. Somewhere, may error. Yeah, may error ako. Log of undefined. Okay, so sa get many blog tayo. Kasi wala pa yung labo no? Yan. Tapos, ito. Back on the game. There you go. Now, we try again. Then, get yung blog. Try out, execute. So, it will return ito. But, we have seen it here. So, if we try to return it as is, let's try lang. Kung mapansin nyo, it's an array, pero nawawala yung ID, text, and so on and so forth. So, paano natin gagawin yon na what we can put is on our references or on our parang blog or something. What we can do is, instead of this, try natin siyang ganito. Let's also remove yung console. Execute natin. Nag-error pa kasi hindi pa okay yung server. Ayan. So now, because we know that there's a underscore ID, because we know that there's an underscore ID dito, we can directly interface na yun yung kunin. And the good thing is, it automatically transforms it into string. So, it's very good na nilalagay natin ano yung gusto natin lang ipakita. Kasi kung wala ito, like, ngayon, balik ko lang ulit siya sa dati, ine-expect niya dapat na merong ID na property for each of the items in the array. But because there is no .id, wala yung .id na yun, o yung ID na yun na property. But we also know that there is an underscore ID, and even if it's in a different format, because we have set it na naka-string format siya, we can point out na ito yung yung object ID itself. So, yun. That is how we get many blogs and all. We can also add a parameter. Yan. Parameters. Parameters is an array. So, mali pala ako. Parameters is an array. The next is the name. Ano yun? We'll just copy this. Name. And so, name in query. So, name is, let's say, limit in query. Tapos, wait lang, narinig ka pa rin. Sorry guys, umiyak yung aking mga anak. I see. Aha. And ano bang type? Wait lang. Style. Load. Schema. Schema is type number. So, that is yung schema. Okay, we are done with this. We have set na limit is equal sa ganito. So now we can have a request. Const request query is equals to request. Const limit we say na 5 pag walang binigay na na limit, and then ito limit. So limit log. Yan. So now we'll just create muna many blogs. So let's create many blogs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, we have yung limit na to. Now, we can say na wala. If wala, ang default niya is 5 as we have set dito. Na kapag walang binigay na limit, we can set 5. If we say na 3 lang yung lalabas. If we say na 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, as you can see, little by little, we are adding a few more bits. We'll add later on yung pagination and so on and so forth. So, ano pang pwede nating gawin? Next is, pwede nating gawin dito is underscore ID. And then, we can say na index.js, which also has a get, update, at saka delete. Index.js will also have this one. Index.js. Yan. So, ano ang meron dito? You can say is ganyan, pero instead of blog ID, then instead of get, put, this is supposed to be not update pala, but put and put. Ano ba yan? Bakit ganito to? Put, sabi ko yan. Then we'll just copy yung sa post. Forget this one. We don't need the parameters should be ID, which is on in path, which is a string. Then we just get a blog. We should update pala yung ating get many blog posts and return the blog data. Okay, so ito, get a blog post. The object is supposed to be same as yung sa post. So, we just copy this one. Kasi we're just getting only one data. One blog data. Ito ang i-return natin iba. Ito is the same as yung post din. But this is put. Update a blog post. Is the request, but we will copy yung parameters because we are setting na nasa ID yung nasa ID yung path. Just put it here. And then we also have yung delete, which is yung del. Kasi bawal yung word ng delete as a variable because it's a reserved word. So, it's just the same as get. And we're just saying na success type Boolean. The ID is this, delete, blog post. So del, we're just using yung del. Delete a blog post. Put this, update a blog post. Ganyan. Now we're just going to get yung del from delete index.js. Okay. Tapos, dadagdag natin siya dito. Import blog ID blog ID blog ID. Ang nakasulat dito ay update blog, and there's the get blog and delete blog. Okay, so we'll create we'll check first kung nagawa na natin siya ng schema dito or API schema. Oh, okay, there's something wrong. Required. Okay. So delete required true. Get is also required true. And this one as well. Let's see. Yep, okay, it's working now. So, pansin natin, we have ito, put, get, and delete. We have yung, we can also actually change yung order para lang maganda. Ayaw niya. Ayan. So, in order, post, get, put, and delete. Okay, so once that we are done on that, we'll create muna yung get blog.js. Export get blog request. We get yung parameters naman. Parameters. Tama ba? Astify. Request. Params ba? Let's see. Params. Hindi pala parameters. Params. Query. ID. And then, find one. Ano ang find one natin? Find one. There you go. So, ID is equals to, well, actually, pwede natin gawin ganito. ID. Ayan. So, wala ng limit kasi hindi naman kailangan ng limit for ID. We just say na blog and yan. Yan. As we just put it here, get blog is equals get blog. Yan. Even that, forget what's the ID na ilalagay natin. We'll try to get some blog dito. So, we just put itong ID na to, copy, paste, execute, and ayan siya. Again, wala yung ID niya, so we'll need to edit ngayon lahat na lang underscore ID, even the post that we did. So dapat underscore ID ito. Ganun din sa put. It's underscore ID. Yung get natin kanina, underscore ID. The other get is underscore ID. Then we'll just update ito na underscore ID yung nire-return. Yan. Or actually, we can also do underscore ID is equals to blog. And then, we just return as is. Okay, so if we execute this again, we get yung particular ID na yun. If you want to have an update blog, copy itong buong to, update, then we also get yung params, then const ID equals params. Now, ang nakasulat dito is for find one and update. Can have that. So we have created find one and update, filter and update. So nakasulat dito na blog, find one and update. The search filter is ID, and ito yung kailangan nating update. So let's put on. Yeah, await. Await is equals to blog, const. Then, di na natin kailangan i-save kasi updated na siya. Of course, yeah. Actually, ito lang. Hindi na pala kailangan natin yan. We just do this. And then, update blog. Yan. And then, last is delete blog.js. Get yung sa get. And we just success is equals to true. Now, what we will need to do is delete one. Okay. Delete one. So, we don't need to get yung ano. Once that is done, delete one. Delete one. Import delete. Bakit delete one? Delete blog. Delete blog. Index from blog delete blog.js. Tama pa? Okay, so let's see. So, let's get 1 out. Sabihin natin, 2 out. Just 2. Ito. Let's try it out to get muna yun. Okay, it's being retrieved. Next is we want to update this to new title and new text. So, execute. And then that is so kapag kinuha natin siya ulit, new title, new text. And then, if we want to delete it, success true. If we execute this again, 500. Cannot read property of null. So, magdadagdag na lang tayo ng isa dito na 404 error. For easy access on that one, we'll install ulit yan, Specify error handler. Lo. Dito. Doc. Plugin. Recommendation. Plugin. Specify plugin. Mga ba ulit yun? Ecosystem. Ang kailangan nating Specify plugin ay error. Sensible, yes. So we'll need Specify Sensible. How to use it? Easy. Just install it. Save. And then, ang next natin gagawin is, require lang natin. So, import sensible from Specify sensible and then app.register sensible. Now, how do we use this? Let's say, ito, yung get natin, if and when, if not blog, return, kukunin natin si response dot, anong nakasulat dito? HTTP errors, respond, not found. So let's see. Hindi pa. Wait lang daw. Ayan. Status code 404. Error, not found. Message, not found. Diba? Hindi mo na kailangan mag-return ng something. Automatically, meron na siyang ganyan. We can also, because this is undocumented, we can also return on our get a 404 response, 404 description, blog is not found. Content, is application Json schema type object properties status code type number. Oops. Yan. And then title. No. Ang sabi dito? Error and message. Error type string and message type string. Actually, isa pang pwede natin gawin, sulat lang natin dito yung no blog found. Then we wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Execute. Diba? Yan. No blog found dun sa message. And we can also have yung pag sa update. Let's see. Pag sa update, natin kung may may lumabas. So, nagkakaroon ng dapat magkaroon tayo ng error. So, let's say const blog. If not blog, ito, nasa reply naman tayo kasi yung nakasulat. Return reply not found. Let's see if it's also the same. Meron dito. Yan. Let's see if it's also the same if we update a non-existing ID. Not found din siya. So, ayan. You can check if it's still working. If we make it like this one, execute, mag-work siya. If we use a non-existing ID, execute, wala na siya ulit. Okay, so that is our really fast. I mean, it's a bit fast na a setup of the database and a quick way to create a CRUD. So, let's add all na lang muna. Git commit feed add CRUD or blog. So, git push. So, now it should be pushed on GitHub. Again, you can check the the thing is wala yung dev.json. So, mawala yung kapag kinopya nyo, you'll need to create your own config.json. For Gitpod users, will create a way to make sure na every time na magbubukas kayo ng Gitpod, it automatically creates the dev.json. But for now, ganito muna, naka-ignore siya para kapag chinek natin siya sa dito, ang nandito lang is yung config.json at hindi yung ibang services. So, ayun. You guys have questions? I'll stop muna the recording on this one.